Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Liz and I'm going to be doing things a little extra each time. Today, we're testing which of these vegan cheeses melts the best. So we're using all cheddar varieties, but the first one that I wanted to test is the Follow Your Heart Cheddar shreds. They say that they melt well, and these are pretty basic. They are just, your water, coconut oil, potato, and cornstarch blend. I want to say they're pretty much the simplest of the three varieties we're going to test. They also came in finely shredded. Next up, we have Miyoko's Farmhouse Cheddar. Miyoko's is like crowd fan favorite among vegan cheeses, and that's an oat blend, also with garbanzo and navy beans, and they include vegan oat milk instead of just water. So curious to see how that affects the texture of this. And lastly, we have the Daiya Cheddar Shreds. This is from their cutting board collection, and they advertise that this one's made with chickpeas, so kind of similar in vein to the Miyoko's. But they're not using anything fancy. They're still just using water. They've got the coconut oil and the potato protein down there. So kind of like a mix, but closer on the end spectrum, I would say, to the Follow Your Heart shreds. And so what I'm going to do is I want to test these as purely as possible. I'm just going to put a tablespoon of each cheese on a plate, and then we're going to microwave it. I'm going to microwave them for 15 seconds, and then if they need more time, I will microwave them for another 15 seconds for a total of 30 seconds. So I'm just putting the Follow Your Heart and the Daiya shreds on the outside, and then putting the Miyoko's shreds on the inner side of the plate. After 15 seconds, you can tell the Follow Your Heart and Daiya blends did phenomenally well. Like, holy cow. They did so well after only 15 seconds. Follow Your Heart, I knew was going to melt the best and the quickest, purely because it was those fine shreds. Daiya was really close behind. Miyoko's didn't look really different at all. Slightly mushier, but back in for another 15 seconds. And as you can see, the Daiya, fully got a chance to melt all the way through, so that was fantastic. The Follow Your Heart, because it was finely shredded, was starting to get a little crispy edge there, but still pretty good. And the Miyoko's, again, just really not performing that great. Not sure what's going on there. Could be because it's the center of the plate, so I will test it moved later. But as you can see, it's just got this weird kind of gumminess to it. It is melty when I touch it, but not like a nice cheese pull or anything. And the Daiya, wow, that cheese pull is amazing. I missed it for Follow Your Heart. I will demonstrate it later on in this video. It does have a little bit of a cheese pull, but Daiya far surpasses these other two. That cheese pull is amazing. And here you go. Here's a little bit of the tiniest cheese pull really quick for Follow Your Heart. As you can see, it does. Look, there's a pull. It's not as great as the Daiya. And then the Miyoko's is a gummy mass of, I don't know. There's some kind of pull there, you could say. But like I said, I'm gonna give it another shot. It's pretty thick as far as the cheeses go. So here's after another 15 seconds on the rib of the plate. Still doesn't really look any different, so I'm gonna put it back in. And after a full 30 seconds, guys, are you prepared for this weirdness right here? Look at this. It baked onto the plate. So it definitely got more heat over here, but it turns into like a weird cheddar crisp. Like this wasn't really soft. It is definitely harder, like a Parmesan crisp, if you've made those before, but with cheddar. Kind of bizarre. Was not a fan. Not looking good. So what I want to do next is test these actually melted on something. You know, maybe they'd perform better on a base. So same process, using a tablespoon each of the 3 cheeses, and I'm just putting them on some tortilla chips. Now, to help out the Miyoko shreds, because again, I want to keep them on the center of the plate because they don't do well on the ends, obviously, I'm going to sprinkle them with a little bit of water. You know, get that like kind of steam action happening in the microwave for it. See if that adds any difference. A lot of vegan cheeses play really well with just steaming them in some water, giving them some water action. So we're going to see. And after 15 seconds, again, Daiya and Follow Your Heart look beautiful. Miyoko's is kind of melty, pretty much similar to how it was in the very first test, just on the center of the plate. So I'm going to pop it back in. And here's after a full 30 seconds. So the Daiya, again, still like top notch, seems to be like fully melted. The Follow Your Heart, I would have had to put more cheese. It turned a little, you know, on the drier side. But look, there's still a cheese pull. So, I mean, I'm not mad at it. Again, it's finely shredded, so unless you really piled it up thickly here, I didn't expect it to perform any worse or better than this. Now Miyoko's is still, you know, again, very minimal pull. It's quite a thick cheese. Still doesn't really look that melty. This Daiya though. This Daiya cheese pull right here. Oh my god. Ah! Amazing. Amazing. It just performs so well. So I gotta hand it to them. Those new cutting board shreds are like #1, top notch. So good. And they taste just fine. There's no weird aftertaste or anything. So I gotta put them first. I mean, the fact that like even like the cheese like holds, like you can just pick up like this broken chip and it holds because it has that stretch and elasticity to it is great. What more could you want for a vegan cheese? Then obviously Follow Your Heart is coming in at second. Performs really well. Again, you just have to account for, I don't know if it comes in regular size shreds instead of the finely shredded. So you just have to use a little bit more of it, but it gets a very similar, you know, pull and elasticity to the Daiya. I will say it's the most mild tasting of the 3 though. And then last is Miyoko's. I'm sorry, but this just really didn't perform at all. Even with the help of the water to like aid in steaming it, I don't know if it's the texture. I don't know if it's that weird bean blend going on. It just doesn't work. It doesn't really melt. It basically just kind of gets goopy in the place where you leave it, but doesn't melt, doesn't pull, nothing. So yeah, I hope you liked this test. If there's any more you'd like me to test, let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I will see you all next time.